This is one episode that's not going to be easy to make. Not easy because I just finished watching it. And there are so many things I could say that it's kind of difficult. This is MegaMan and I welcome you all to this week's TMNT quick episode review. Now, before we begin, I do want to say that this is the first of a two-part season finale. And believe me, I mean that. I mean that for a fact. Let us get started with this week's discussion of Requiem. Here's how this is going to work. I will be providing my honest thoughts on the episode, what I liked, disliked about it, etc. Let's begin. After weeks of waiting and undergoing recovery far away, Baxter Stockman has been successfully able to stabilize the mutagen, which in turn has made Super Shredder nigh unstoppable. And Super Shredder doesn't waste any time. He goes on a massive rampage, tearing down the mighty Mutanimals, Karai, Shinigami, before eventually taking out his aggression on the Turtles and Master Splinter. I could keep on going on what the plot is, but bottom line, Splinter, along with his team, must stop Super Shredder. Now, let's be honest, this episode was good, but at the same time, it was also a bit ominous. Like, when you saw at the beginning of the episode with Clive Barkley, the Chuck Norris ripoff, with the last episode, you can obviously tell it isn't a good sign. But also bearing in mind that if you look hard enough, you notice that the monster that it transformed reminded me of Connor's transformation from the 1987 Season 9 cartoon, the Red Sky Season 2. I like that. I liked it that it made nods to previous TMNT shows. Really did. But the main focus here is on Leonardo and Master Splinter. Now, Leonardo has been very concerned for Master Splinter, and he has a very good reason for that. Oh, man. How am I going to explain this? I just can't, because let's be honest, this episode was that good, but it was very heavy on the emotional side. This episode wasn't afraid to take risks, and it took risks very well. And the fact that we actually see the Turtles fight was something. But now at this point, Super Shredder has become nigh unstoppable. There is nothing that can stop the Super Shredder. Nothing. Even when Karai tried to stab Super Shredder in the heart, it didn't work. Apparently, as a result of a stable mutation, like I said, Super Shredder has now become unstoppable. But what really shocked me was how the episode ended. But before I do explain that, let me say that the action was insane all over the place. It was amazing. They had the fight. You had like two big battles going on. One fight at the Wolf Hotel, where if you look hard enough, it's like a nod to Wolf Productions, the people that helped make the 87 cartoon possible. And a second fight at an amusement park with, how do I put this, merry-go-round missile launchers. That's hilarious. I mean, all the villains and the heroes really do get out here. You had the Turtles, you had Casey, April, and the mighty Mutanimals, and they were fighting against all their enemies. Razar, Bebop, Rocksteady, Super Shredder, etc. It was crazy. And a very satisfying way on how this episode turned out. But like I said, what really surprised me the most was the dynamic between Leonardo and Splinter, as well as the foil between Splinter and Shredder. I should have said this from the beginning, but Splinter and Shredder are a foil for each other. The only difference is their allegiance. Splinter's a good guy, Shredder's a bad guy. Splinter is a very caring, honest person who really wants what's best for others and is more than willing to put his own life to make sure they're safe. Whereas the Shredder, on the other hand, is uncaring, evil, a complete jerk, and considering that he's now Super Shredder, a monster. The very thing Hamato Yoshi would swear to avoid, but in this case, Hamato Yoshi became a rat, whereas Shredder was nothing but a hulking beast. And it's quite fitting, but not as fitting as how it ended. Yeah. Shows like these are best known to take a lot of risks, and I will commend them for taking a big risk. A risk so big I didn't think it would actually be possible. Long story short, Hamato Yoshi, a character that we have known for the past 4 seasons, has died. And it is by far the worst, the most shocking thing that has ever happened. My mouth literally was open wide seeing it. I couldn't even begin to imagine how it turned out. how the turtles reacted, how April reacted, how Casey reacted, and yes, they all reacted in shock, seeing it happen. It happened so fast that there was not a lot to take. It was just so gut-wrenching. And it made me wonder why I waited 2 months just to see this. And that's not to say that it's a bad thing. I'm saying this because, good God, it hurt. And the feels for the ending right there were extremely strong. You could feel their pain, their suffering, their sorrow. Seeing someone that they love, that they consider family, be taken from them by a monster. This is all messed up. So wrong. I mean, I'm trying my best not to cry because this is one episode that just hooked on me and it's just very good. But it's so frustrating. It's so frustrating seeing Hamato Yoshi die like that. And yes, I know that he did die somewhat at the end of Season 3 when the Triceratons had the black hole generator wiping away the Earth, but it was undone during the Season 4 mid-finale. But seeing this, good God, I just can't find the right words. I really just can't. What I can say is that this episode is very well done. A very strong start to next week's episode. I give this a 9.5 out of 10. I could give it a perfect 10 if I wanted to, but this is part 1 of a 2-part finale. So, when the second part does come, I will give my final overall score. A strong first parter, which has me prepping up for the second one, which is coming next week, Owari, or in Japanese terms, the end. Now, how I'm going to do this is going to be very simple. Basically, I will be doing this episode, or rather this review, as a full-fledged episode review, meaning I am going to go on the deep end. I am really going to go in detail about this episode, as well as a bit of some comparisons, as well as my top 5 best episodes of TMNT Season 4, like I did with the Season 2 episode review, The Race of His Life, of The Flash. I am going to be doing the same thing here. It's a season finale, and I want this to be done well. And I want this to be one that a lot of people will remember. But in addition, I am also going to be including my feelings on 4 upcoming episodes of Season 5. Now, I don't know if it's been confirmed that Season 5 is the last season. I'm going to look it up and find out for myself, and when I do, I will let you guys know in next week. I guess I must have taken way too long, but whatever. This is just too good and too emotional. If you have not seen this episode, then what the hell are you doing? Watch it, then come back here. I'm only saying this right now. That is it for this TMNT quick episode review. Next week is a full episode review of the season finale, Owari. If you enjoyed this video, please be sure to hit the like button. It really does mean a lot to me, and I will see you guys next week for when I go full throttle with the final episode of Season 4. This is Mega Man NG signing off. Peace out.